What is going on, everybody? How is everybody doing today? Welcome back here today to another tier list video. And today's one I'm very excited for because we're going to be ranking every team's young core going into the 2022/3 season. So the criteria for this is basically anybody that's 24 years old or younger. If you're 25, you don't make it. That's the cutoff because I make that as the top 25 under 25 list. So that is what it's going to be today to be considered part of a team's young core. Yes, 25 is still young, but that we got to draw the line somewhere, you know. So we have this into 5 tiers. We have the elite young core, best of the best, very solid young cores. The core has potential, like they have players with a lot of high upside, but maybe they're not there just yet. Needs another piece, like, yep, you need to take maybe or land another first round pick or get a young player, add it to your young core. And then lastly, the final tier is the 2021-22 Utah Jazz, because they had one of the worst young cores. Now, not a bad team by any means. They were a playoff team. But you can see their young core right here because this is just fresh in our minds. Everybody that was under 25 by the end of the season, Malik Fitz, Xavier Sneed, Miaoni, yeah, like it's not great at all. So yeah, I'll probably be going back and forth just to make sure who's in what age group because I don't know, maybe off the top of my head if they're 25 or they're 24. So we'll go in order for basically how this tier list is, and feel free to drop a thumbs up if you guys do enjoy the video and let me know down below what you agree with or disagree with. So Philadelphia. Now, they're maybe a tough team to just rank to start this off. Now, they do have a great young piece in Tyrese Maxey, but the rest of their young core isn't great, and of course, this is just going to take forever to load. So for Philly, it's basically led by DeAnthony Melton and Tyrese Maxey. The rest of their young core really isn't great. Like, Jaden Springer didn't really show much in his rookie year. Not a lot to get excited about. Like, even like B-Ball Paul or Isaiah Joe showed a little bit more promise. So they probably need another piece because Melton is not going to be part of this young core for much longer, and Maxey can only take you so far possibly. So yeah, they're going to be in that tier right now. Now for Washington, you have guys like Denny Avdia, you have guys like Corey Kispert, but nothing really too promising there. Isaiah Todd. I mean, it consists of Rui Hashimura, Daniel Gafford, Corey Kispert, Denny Avdia. I mean, like, this probably is a team that has potential or maybe needs another piece. Right now, they're definitely better than the Sixers young core, at least with Denny and his defensive potential. Like, Gafford's a solid big. I mean, it's not great. It probably will drop down to that tier later on, but yeah, it's going to be in the has potential. Atlanta, they're going to be in probably the elite young core right now. DeJounte Murray has graduated from the under 25 list, but they at least have Trae Young, which is pretty much going to put you up there at the top, like, immediately. You also have guys, wow, just seeing 2003 is crazy, but AJ Griffin, Jalen Johnson still has potential. I still am really high on Onyeka Okongwu. Culver, I mean, he's probably past, like, or he's not going to be, I don't know, a long-term NBA guy. But really, Trae Young makes this so elite. I guess DeAndre Hunter, did he just recently graduate from this tier? I mean, he was December 97. So he's actually going to be 25. He's still 24. So, yeah, they have an elite young core. You have DeAnthony Melton, you have DeAndre Hunter, you have Trae Young, you have Onyeka Okongwu, you have AJ Griffin, Jalen Johnson. Yeah, that's as probably good as a young core you can get. Imagine Murray was still under 25. That would be insane. Another elite young core where I don't even need to check is the Cleveland Cavaliers, because you have Darius Garland, you have Evan Mobley. Just those two players immediately put you up there. You still have other young players like Isaac Okoro, and then you just got Donovan Mitchell, but unfortunately for, I guess, this exercise, he is not part of that young core anymore. I just wanted to double check Jarrett Allen's age. I feel like he's graduated from that tier. Actually, I don't know. Maybe Jarrett Allen is still under 25. And yeah, Jarrett Allen still falls under that tier. Yeah, that's clearly an elite young core. For Detroit, they're probably very solid, just because like Trey and like Mobley/Garland put them in elite. Detroit, though, I mean, you have Sadiq Bey, you have Isaiah Stewart, you have Cade Cunningham, you have Jaden Ivey. That is pretty good. That is pretty good. I don't want to put so many teams in elite young core, but they might have one right now. So, like you have Cade Cunningham, so that's probably like just on par with Evan Mobley and Garland. Pacers, it has potential right now with Benedict Mathurin. I mean, Chris Duarte was a rookie last year, and he's already, I think, out of it, or he's going to be out of it very soon. It's similar to like Buddy Hield, but like, oh, you have Halliburton, you have Mathurin. Yeah, no, it's probably going to be in the very solid, just because you have two good building blocks in Halliburton and Mathurin, who I'm pretty high on. I like Isaiah Jackson's game. We'll see if they can get anything out of Jalen Smith this year. And yeah, Chris Duarte is pretty much, he's 25 already. That's crazy. And he was a rookie last year. So they're going to be very solid. Like, it's definitely better than Washington. But I don't know. It's weird because like Philly, I think I got to drop Washington down because they have a lot of solid pieces, but no one to really build around. At least Philly has somebody to build around, and Tyrese Maxey and Melton's going to be going out of that tier soon. But we'll see if Philly moves up. I think Washington's here just because they don't have that top guy to really build around. Indiana does, and all three of these teams do. Philly does, but they don't really have anything else. At least Washington has like 4 guys there. Milwaukee, they might be in the 2021-22 Utah Jazz, just based off their young core at the moment, just because it's probably headlined by MarJon Beauchamp, and that's about it. Yeah, Beauchamp, I mean, Grayson, yeah, no, he's 27. Yeah, you basically have 3 players that qualify in this criteria. Wendell Wigington, AJ Green, not the Cardinals AJ Green, and MarJon Beauchamp. Yeah, it's going in the 21-22 Utah Jazz tier. Next up, we have the Toronto Raptors, who do have a pretty good young core. I mean, it's headlined by Scotty Barnes at the moment, and then you also have Christian Koloko, who they just drafted. Gary Trent Jr. is still in that tier, which is pretty nice. He's 24 right now, or no, he's 23 right now. But Precious Achiuwa is still in there. Delano Banton. OG's not there anymore. Malachi Flynn is still there. So yeah, they're probably going to be in the very. Do they have an elite young core? I mean, it's Gary Trent and Scotty Barnes, and then you have Achiuwa and Banton and Koloko. I mean, Scotty Barnes, if you put him on their tier, it's a pretty elite young core. I don't know. Maybe they're in the very solid. Like, who do you like long term, Barnes or Halliburton? Right. So we'll go back to that one. The Mavericks. Oof. Oh my God, they're such a weird one because they have the best player that could ever be listed in a young core, and that's Luka Doncic, who's still going to be there for a few more seasons. They have Josh Green, Jaden Hardy, who's a second-round pick. Frank Ntilikina still qualifies for this tier. It's just not great. Like, it's these 5 players right here. McKinley Wright, no, Frank, you're not building around. Green really hasn't showed much. Hardy's a rookie, but they have Luka Doncic. So I'm going to say it's the very solid. It's a weird ranking for this. It really is. It's very solid just because of Luka alone, right? Like, if Luka was Tyrese Halliburton, their young core would be probably down here. But since they have Luka, it's not considered elite, but one player, he counts as 2 elite. I don't know. You get what I mean. So they're in the very solid. I feel like the Denver Nuggets, immediately popping out to me, has potential. Just around kind of Bones Highland, Michael Porter Jr., I believe, still classifies into this tier as well. You have Peyton Watson. I didn't love that pick at the 30th spot, but you have him. You have Christian Brown. You have Zeke Naji. You have Bones Highland. You still have Porter Jr. It definitely has potential. I'm going to throw it there just because, Porter Jr., he has all the potential in the world, but he really hasn't played much yet. You have, I kind of like Colin Gillespie, but he's on the 2-way. But you have Bones Highland, who was great last year. Zeke Naji didn't show much last year, so I'm hoping to see more out of him this year. And Brown and Watson haven't even played yet, so it definitely has potential. Memphis. Oh, this is probably an elite young core. I'm not sure if I remember if Jaren Jackson in this young core, but they have Kennedy Chandler, who's in the second round. Kenneth Lofton looked pretty good in the summer league. Jake Ravia, first round pick. Zaire Williams played well last year in his rookie season. He's going to sophomore year. David Roddy, first round pick. Cynthia Aldama was the first last year. Not really much. But yeah, Jaren Jackson Jr. and John Morant are both in this. So is Xavier Tillman. So is Desmond Bane. Oh my goodness. Desmond Bane is still in this tier. That is kind of crazy. Killing Tilly, former Gonzaga Bulldog. But yeah, that is definitely an elite young core. Next up, we have the Minnesota Timberwolves, who have a star piece in this tier in Anthony Edwards. They have Wendell Moore. They have Jaden McDaniels. They have Naz Reid, Jalen Noel. It's pretty good. I wouldn't say it's elite because, I don't know. Anthony Edwards is your guy. He's your Cade Cunningham guy. He's your Trae Young guy. He's your your Garland guy. But I think, it's... I don't know. We haven't seen anything out of Wendell Moore yet. Jaden McDaniels showed promise, but he has a potential type player. Naz Reid looks like he could be a solid center in the league. Jalen Noel could maybe take a step this year. I don't think I could put them in elite. You guys got to let me know. That is a tough one to count and leave out of elite. San Antonio, I would say they have potential at the moment because they don't really have that guy that you're like I just mentioned, those top elite guys, but they have a pretty solid young core with Jeremy Shohan, 2003. Oh, that's just crazy to me. Malachi Branham, Blake Wesley. You guys know how much I love their draft. Joshua Primo, we'll see if he can maybe take a step this year in his sophomore year. Devin Vassell still qualifies in this tier. So does Keldon Johnson, Romeo Langford. I mean, that's pretty good. That is a very solid young core. They do have a lot of pieces there. Okay, so the Utah Jazz. This team, prior to the trade of Rudy Gobert and Donovan Mitchell, would have been in their tier from last year. But now they have Walker Kessler, THT from the Beverly trade, Bolmaro, Butler, Ochai Agbaji, Doka Azubuike, Vanderbilt, Sexton, all fall in that criteria. It's still not great. I still think it needs another piece because like Sexton is technically the guy you build around, but let's see if he can even be a team floor raiser or a ceiling raiser this year for them. And like Vanderbilt, I'm not saying he's like a top 3 guy to build around, a part of a young core, but he could be a nice supporting cast piece, you know. Ochai Baji, like, we haven't seen play yet. Azubuike, we haven't seen much yet. Same with Butler. Bolmaro, we haven't seen much yet. THT, I mean, his value is kind of plummeted, and we haven't seen anything out of Walker Kessler. So they're TBD. They need another piece, and I don't know. Like, I don't think Walker Kessler has a huge ceiling. I don't think THT does. Bolmaro could be a solid player, but I don't know about a huge ceiling. Same with Ochai Baji, like a good piece. Like, I was, like, happy when Cleveland drafted him because he was NBA ready right now, but I mean, he's not really somebody you build around. Oof, the LA Clippers. This might be another team joining the Milwaukee Bucks in that Jazz tier. Musa Diabate, Brandon Boston, who showed some promise last year, and Moses Brown, who else also qualifies? Jason Preston, and that is it. Yeah, I'm sorry, but that is going into 2021-22 Utah Jazz. The Phoenix Suns. This team, who's had plenty of young talent, it might not be great. Like, Josh Okogie's in there. DeAndre Ayton is still in that tier, and that is about it. Is not great so far. So yeah, like, does Aiden get them enough? It does. It does to go in this tier, like tier 4 basically. You can look at it like that. Like, needs another piece maybe, but like Aiden is probably more valuable than anybody else in this young core. I think I'm gonna because if I bump up Philly, why wouldn't I bump up Phoenix for having Aiden? But it's like they just don't have many other players. And then for Utah and Washington, they do have like 4 or 5 guys, but they're not in the tier of Maxey or Aiden. I'm definitely going to probably fix up this tier later, maybe kind of word it differently. So Portland, like 2 pieces they have there in Shaedon Sharpe and Anthony Simons. So I think with like Keon Johnson getting more reps there, Nasir Little still qualifies in that tier. They do have like some solid young players. Like, we'll see about Olivier Sarr, Trendon Watford, Greg Brown. I would say it needs another piece as well. Like, Sharpe hasn't played a game yet. And Anthony Simons is not as good as Maxey or Aiden, but I'd rather probably have Simons over Sexton and Denny Avdia. So that's something to look at there. Next up, we do have the Sacramento Kings, who traded away Tyrese Haliburton last year, who would have been a nice player in this core. It's Keegan Murray. It's Davion Mitchell. It is still Kevin Huerter. And it is also Malik Monk still. It's pretty solid. I mean, it could be worse. It could be better. I'm not going to say... yeah, it probably needs another piece right there. The New York Knicks... I mean, they're led by RJ Barrett, but you probably put him in a similar tier to Maxey, maybe below. Like, Keels didn't look great in the summer league. McBride, we'll see if he even plays this year. Quentin Grimes does have some promise. Cam Reddish, he has a lot of potential, but man, the Knicks just aren't going to play him. Emmanuel Quickly, good piece. Mitchell Robinson is still in this tier. So is Obi. Wait, Obi's still only 22? Wow, I feel like I thought he was 23. Or no, I meant he's 24. I thought he was 25. But no, he's 24. Like, the Knicks have a lot of pieces here. Is this a boomer take to say they have potential? I don't know. I think it's not a boomer take. I mean, a biased take. But I don't know. Like, you have RJ Barrett. Like, he's not as good as Aiden or Maxey, but he's not, like, 2 tiers below them. And then you have Grimes, who's better than any of the Suns or Sixers' second best player, or at least with potential. Reddish, you can maybe make a debate him and Melton. Quickly, I'd rather have than Melton. Mitch Rob, I'd rather have than Melton. Toppin, I'd probably rather have Melton. I don't know. That could be a biased one. I could probably alter this one in a little bit, so just bear with me on that. Pelicans, they have an elite young core still. They just drafted Dyson Daniels. They have Zion Williamson. Brandon Ingram still is in this tier, I believe. It's crazy. Wait, yeah, he's going to be 25. No, he just turned 25. Never mind. He is not in this tier anymore. Okay, so does that change it at all? No, I mean, I think Zion alone is like that guy you build around, and then you have Herb Jones, you have Trey Murphy, you have Jackson Hayes. I mean, Lewis, not much potential out of him anymore. But Jason Daniels, Grand Theft Alvarado, yeah, I would say that this team has an elite young core. I would probably say it's better than Atlanta's, honestly. Charlotte, they have a guy that they're building around has very high potential in LaMelo Ball. But outside of him, like, we haven't seen anything out of Mark Williams. We haven't seen really much out of JT Thor. Kai Jones, we haven't seen much. James Bouknight, we didn't really see much last year. PJ Washington is he's still in that tier. Same with Jalen McDaniels. I would say it's probably I don't know. Yeah, like, if I'm going to say the Timberwolves are here, like, LaMelo Ball is a good enough piece that they're probably here. Maybe my least favorite, because it's really just LaMelo Ball and a bunch of other young guys that, like, still have potential, like Kai Jones, James Bouknight, Mark Williams, and PJ Washington, but nobody that's like, all right, that's like a second guy we want to build around. Houston has a really good, man, like there's a lot of good young cores in this league. But Houston, they have Jabari Smith, Perun Şengün, Usman Garuba, Jalen Green, Josh Christopher, Ty Washington, Tari Eason, KPJ, Kenyon Barton Jr., Bruno Fernando. Like, they have a really good young core. They're going to elite. Miami. Now that I think Bam is no longer in this tier, they probably fought a little bit. Yeah, Bam is 25. Omar Yurtseven's in there. A bunch of, and it's basically Tower Hero. They did draft Nikola Jovic. It probably needs another piece, like similar to like Maxi and not much else, or Aiden and not much else. But we'll go back to that one as well, because I do think I need to maybe fix up these tiers a little bit, just because maybe the Knicks shouldn't be that high. Next up, we do have Chicago, who have Justin Lewis. They have Dalen Terry. They have Patrick Williams, Kobe White, Ayo Dosunmu. That's not that bad, man. I'm still high on Patrick Williams. Maybe that's why, but I think that's pretty much a has potential one, because Patrick Williams is that big wild card, and I still think he has a ton of potential. Brooklyn, this one's not going to be great, but Cam Thomas definitely helps it out a lot. I still like Kessler Edwards, not huge on Day'Ron Sharpe too much anymore. Claxton still falls in this tier. Simmons, unfortunately, doesn't. I'm not saying it's as bad as the 21-22 Jazz, but there definitely needs another piece. OKC, I don't really need to look at them. Elite young core. Giddey, Chet, I know he's hurt. Shea, and then if you want to incorporate draft picks in that, like, they're going to be fine. We get to see something out of both Jalen Williams, Ousmane Dieng. Lou Dort, I believe, is still under 25, even if he's not. It really doesn't change my mind. Golden State, this is another interesting one as well, because like they just won the championship, but they still have a solid young core with Kuminga, Patrick Baldwin, Moses Moody, James Wiseman, Jordan Poole is still in that tier. It's not elite, but it's very solid, I think, because like at least for the elite guys, like you have your Shea, your Jalen Green, who I think has more potential than Jordan Poole. You could debate that down below. Zion, John Morant, Cade Cunningham, Garland/Mobley, Trae Young. And then they also have supporting pieces around that are still good young core pieces. Like, yeah, I'm taking Luka over anybody in this, like, listed even in this video, but they don't really have much around it. Anthony Edwards, same thing. The Raptors are interesting if I want to put them in elite. Golden State, like, who would you say is the best guy? Is it Jordan Poole? And if Jordan Poole has the highest ceiling, he's probably around RJ Barrett, Tower Hero. But you might think James Wiseman still has the highest ceiling. You might think Kuminga, who in my opinion has probably the highest ceiling out of all those guys. Next up, we do have the Boston Celtics, who... Is Tatum? Yeah, Tatum's still under 25. What do I mean? So they have Tatum, Grant Williams. Jaylen Brown is no longer there. Robert Williams is 25 in October. Huh. That's pretty good. Like, if you're giving me Tatum and the two Williamses, I don't know. Is that elite? That might be an elite young core with those three. Just because Robert Williams could be Defensive Player of the Year one day. Tatum could be an MVP. He just brought the Celtics to the final, and he's still under 25. Yeah, if I made this video next year with Robert Williams gone, I mean, Tatum's still going to be here. Or he'll be 25 in March. So if I made this video next year, they would probably be down here. Or even like down here, honestly. But right now, they're still there. The LA Lakers, man. They might, I don't know. We'll see where they have them. So they have Max Christie, Scottie Pippen Jr., Troy Brown, Cole Swider, Lonnie Walker is still there till December. So is Austin Reeves till next year. Yeah, it's not great. It's probably in this tier. Now, they do have more guys than the Clippers. Maybe even more than the Bucks, but it's just the talent isn't there. And finally, the Orlando Magic, who have probably an elite young core with Banchero, Franz Wagner, Suggs, Hampton, Cole Anthony, Wendell Carter Jr. is still in that. Fultz is still in that. Chuma Okeke's still in that. Bamba's even still in that. Isaac's still in that. Isaac's 24 still? That's crazy. Yeah, they're an elite. They have just so much talent there. So this is what I have right now. Has potential. This is probably just going to be like I don't know, like middle tier. Maybe it still has potential if RJ can ball out. Needs another piece is maybe weird. Like, it's probably one building block. That's it. Like, I'm not counting Nikola Jovic as a building block. Like, Mitchell and Keegan Murray isn't as good as a Hero, Maxi, or Aiden. Anthony Simons kind of is in that, but like, I'm not betting so much on Shaedon Sharpe. Sexton, same thing. The Wizards just have a bunch of stuff. Like Denny of the Kispert, Gafford, still Hashimura. Like, it's not great, but it's definitely better. Like, it's not bad enough to be down here. Same with the Nets. I mean, the Nets, I don't know. Do I drop the Nets? I don't know. Maybe I drop the Nets. Like, Claxton and I don't know. Maybe are the Nets the best tier here? It's like not. It's funny because like these are the better teams in the league. I mean, like you can say the Lakers. What do you want about them? But like the better teams are obviously not going to have the best young core. So like you're looking at this. Take this with a grain of salt. Like you can put the Nets up here, not the end of the world. You could drop the Wizards down. You could put the Suns, the Sixers up there, please. Like don't split hairs if it's a tier apart. But yeah, like if you're the Cavs, you're going to be good and have a great young core. Same with like Memphis, the Pelicans, the Celtics, and then you have like the Warriors. Yeah. So let me know what you think about my criteria here. It's just really tough to rank like the Mavericks. Like, I just think, like, Luka is just such an elite player, top, like, 7 guy in the league alone. Like, that you have to put him in solid, even though they don't really have anything around him. So you guys can let me know what do you think about that one as well. But, yeah, feel free to drop a thumbs up if you guys did enjoy. I love you guys, and I'll catch you on the next one. Peace.